Tough loss tonight for the San Antonio Spurs. They were up by 16 points in the first half. They were up by 10 at halftime, 55-45. But the Oklahoma City Thunder had a big third quarter. OKC would lead going into the third by 10, 79-69. And Lonnie Walker had a shot at a three-pointer. Spurs were down by 3 in the final minute of action. And Lonnie Walker almost banked in a three-point shot that would have tied the score at 97. It did not go. Final score tonight from the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the San Antonio Spurs 99-94. I'm Chris Duel along with Michael Bartlett. And let me just check here. I got one more segment here on the radio. Lin from Singapore. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances, Lin. So since I gave scores already, this will be kind of short, correct? All right. All right, ID coming. Welcome in, everybody, on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube. Lucinda, hello there. From the Spurs Net Center, I'm Chris Duel. Final score from Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the San Antonio Spurs 99-94. Before we proceed right now, let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves along the Spurs radio network.
News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Louisa!
San Antonio's
hello, Louisa.
News, traffic, and weather.
Once again, the final score from the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma City Thunder defeat the San Antonio Spurs 99-94. Programming note on the flagship station, Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI, and streaming live video on 1200 WOAI's Facebook page and via 1200 WOAI's Twitter page. Our Spurs React is coming right up. Michael Bartlett and I will react to this tough loss with you after a quick wrap-up from Bill Schoening, where he broadcasts remotely tonight from the AT&T Center as the Spurs fell at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City to the Thunder 99-94. Spurs Radio continues in a moment.
Dr. Ahmed Mizani, founder and president of South Texas Renal Care Group.
Tony Ornelas, welcome. It's a little loud. Let's lower that. I can read the screen better without my Spurs glasses. I do like the Spurs glasses. Lucinda Sullivan, Patrick Burns, what is up? Sergio Lozano, Frank Ramirez, Tony Ornelas. Sergio says, it's a tough place for the Spurs to be in. On one hand, it's probably in the best interest for the team to win less than 20 games, but I also want Pop to get that win total so he can be one of the winningest coach or the winningest coach of all time. I think the Spurs team is going to be fine. We didn't want to lose this one tonight, but they have been in, let's see, they're 3-7. They played 10 games. They've been in every game except one. And I know the losses have been tough and you don't want to lose. But I really think this team is learning to win. They got the win against Milwaukee a little over a week ago. That was last Saturday night. So just a little, 8 days ago. So Tony Diaz, welcome. Taro Kotani joins us from Tokyo. Taro Kotani, the greatest international Spurs fan on the face of this earth. A lot of you in here do know Taro, but he has traveled 16 times from Tokyo to San Antonio. Here's Bill Schoening wrapping it up.
Broadcast engineer Sam Walters, statistician Walter Stoops. That's the game with the Spurs coming up Wednesday night at home against the Sacramento Kings. That'll be the 7:30 start. We'll be here at 7 o'clock with Spurs Radio Game Night along the San Antonio Spurs Radio Network.
What a call.
Our flagship station, Spurs Radio 1200.
What a call.
In San Antonio. As always,
Naked.
I didn't see it.
Naked bootleg. Naked bootleg.
Michael's watching the Tennessee Titans beat the LA Rams right now on Sunday Night Football.
Win over the Spurs. This has been a presentation of
Ryan
Sports
Tannehill
and Entertainment and the National Basketball
with the touchdown.
Association.
Wow, naked
Always
bootleg.
reserved. Good night, everybody.
That was a great call.
Spurs.
That defensive end just absolutely obliterated.
Jerome Sosa says, go Spurs, go. Joanne Hernandez says, no bueno.
And by iHeartMedia.
Yeah, Luisa, 9 games. Spurs could have won them all. They did not. They've lost some tough ones. This was a tough one tonight. Remember, OKC beat the Lakers twice already this year. So there's no shame in losing to Oklahoma City. So again, I'm thinking 7. And are you going to participate?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for him to finish the last one so
right.
I can start working on it. But I'll do what we're on.
Yeah, I'll do about 3, then throw to you, and then I'll wrap, and then we'll get out of here.
Try our always free curbside. Let us cherry.
Tony Ornella says, play Primo, play Primo, play Primo, play Primo. Primo did play over the weekend for the Austin Spurs. I think he scored 14 against the Rio Grande Valley. Conrad Dillon just wrote, why does Mike hate children? Very nice. That's a good question, Conrad. A very good question.
This is Game Night React on the home of the Spurs. Spurs
You
Radio
like my glasses?
1200 WOAI.
Well, we've seen this before this season. This was a tough loss. There's been a number of these. However, I still believe this Spurs team is getting better all the time. Getting better all the time is a Beatles tune, by the way. Pretty good one. You should go check it out if you don't know it. Welcome in. This is Spurs React on Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI. I'm Chris Duel along with Michael Bartlett. Lots of people already joining us on the live video feed as we are streaming live video on 1200 WOAI's Facebook page and 1200 WOAI's Twitter page, which is at 1200 WOAI. I already see Ofa Lin joining us from Singapore. Taro Kotani, the greatest international Spurs fan, joins us from Tokyo, Japan, where it is morning in Tokyo, evening in San Antonio. I see fans Conrad Dillon, Lucinda Sullivan, Jerome Sosa, Tony Ornelas, Joanne Hernandez, and others. Lots of people joining us on the live video feed. Welcome in, Spurs fans. Well, we'll get Michael Bartlett's comments on this. And again, you don't want to lose. And with the loss tonight, by the way, Spurs lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder 99-94. Spurs fall to 3-7 on the season. Yet, once again, and in all but one of these 10 games, the Spurs were right there with an opportunity to win. They've won 3 of these 10 games, but there were 6 others that they could have won, and they were just tough, late losses, and that's what this one was. In the final seconds, Lonnie Walker took a 3-point shot when it was 97-94 Oklahoma City. If he hits that shot, we're tied at 97 and probably going to overtime. He missed it. OKC got the ball. They go down and score. Final score was 99-94. Oklahoma City beating the San Antonio Spurs. Tough loss. Again, 6 of these 7 losses have been like this. Spurs had a double-digit lead in the first half. Spurs had a double-digit lead at halftime. Spurs were up by 16 at one point in the first half. They jumped out to a 9-0 lead to start the game. It was 14-4 early in the first quarter, early in the game, 14-4. It was the third quarter, though, where Oklahoma City went on a 20-4 run and flipped the script of this game. And Oklahoma City, which was down by 10 at halftime, 55-45, they go up 10 to start the fourth quarter, 79-69. So the Spurs were trying to play catch up from there down the stretch in the fourth quarter and kept making it tight, but wound up eventually surrendering this game to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 99-94. Next game for the Spurs will be on Wednesday night against the Sacramento Kings here at the AT&T Center. Let's bring in Michael Bartlett for his perspective. Michael, I know a lot of Spurs fans look at the record, 3-7. They look at these tough losses, and they kind of have a bitter taste in their mouth. And some of these Spurs fans on social media, some, and I would say the minority, but they're a vocal minority, being very negative about the Spurs on social media. How do you feel about tonight's game? And we are 10 games in the season now. How do you feel about 10 games into the season for the San Antonio Spurs?
Well, my thoughts on tonight's game are, honestly, this was the first game that was just ugly. The Spurs played bad, and they shot bad, and it was just, unfortunately, an ugly night. The defense played well. You know, Oklahoma City, you get them to shoot 37% almost. I mean, 99.9% of the time, you're going to win games when you're holding the teams to 37% from the field. What a lot of the, I guess, hidden stats that you could look at, we talked about this last year, free throws. The art of making a free throw is a very hidden stat and underappreciated stat. Oklahoma City was 17 of 20 from the free throw line. We were 6 of 9. Yeah, we missed 3, but we only had 9 attempts.
That's a crazy, huge disparity in free throw attempts.
Going into that, I believe going into that fourth quarter, we only had 2. We were 0 of 2, and I believe the 2 misses were from Doug McDermott. So that's your ball game right there. You can look at three-pointers. Yes, they shoot 12 for 41 from 3. We shoot 6 of 30. The game is your free throws. It's a 11-point difference from free throws. That's your ball game right there. You're also seeing how much of an important piece that even if he doesn't score, what Jakob Poeltl brings to the defense and the rebounding to this team is majorly missing right now. We get out-rebounded 57 to 46. At one point, it was like 55 to 35. It was ugly. Offensive rebounding 15 to 11. I believe second chance points were actually even, which is astounding to me. But that's those 2 numbers right there. Your free throws and getting out rebounded. That's the big game. And this is. It was just a bad night shooting. When your backcourt of DeJounte Murray and Derek White go a combined 5 for 29 and 0 of 8 from three-point range, you're not going to win a lot of ball games. And granted, in the first half, I said to you during one of the breaks, how many times would you be able to say that the Spurs would be winning a ball game when at that particular point in time, Derek White and DeJounte had not scored a point, and they were up by like 10. We were up 10 because Drew Eubanks is playing well. Lonnie started off great and then kind of, fizzled out. He had 11 in the first half and only wound up with 15 for the game, so he only had 4 points in the second half. He's got to do more. But Derek White had an absolutely atrocious game tonight. I know Derek plays well on defense, but when you're a guy for this team that is a career, 12, 13, 14 point a night guy that we've seen glimpses of him, you can't go 0 for 10. You have to do something. You have to create something. Even if it's from the free throw line, you have to score points. You can't have your backcourt not score points. DeJounte stepped it up. He got 10. He almost had a darn near triple-double again. But Derek White going 0 for tonight really hurt the team along with the free throws. So, again, after 10 games, this is the one game where we can say it was an ugly game. It was a bad game. But as you stated, every game they've been in. But they have to learn to win like this. They have to learn to win ugly games and find a way to win, because that's what young teams are more than likely going to have to do.
And again, one of the many points, you made a lot of great points there, Michael, but you really, I totally agree with you on Jakob Poeltl. You look at the rebounds, and you look at what Jakob was contributing, not only defensively and via rebounds, but offensively. I mean, Jakob Poeltl has had some double-doubles, and he had a triple-double the other night right before he went out for health and safety protocols. So hopefully the Spurs get Jakob Poeltl back very, very soon. Again, 3-7 in the first 10 is not where you want to be record-wise, but I would say to Spurs fans, being in 9 of those 10 games with this young team, if you would have told me they would be right there, and each 9 of 10 games would be there for the taking for this young Spurs team in the first 10, I'd take that. And that's where we are. And the record is 3-7, and this team is ahead of where I thought they would be 10 games into the season. Hopefully, they get a win on Wednesday night. That'll be the next game. The Sacramento Kings are coming to town. Sacramento's playing well this year. You normally hear the name Sacramento Kings, and you go, that's a mediocre team. Not this year. Sacramento Kings are playing good basketball. That'll be a tough game for the Spurs, but the Spurs have played tough teams and played very, very well on beating the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks on their floor in the first 10 games. So next game will be Wednesday night, AT&T Center, 7:30 start. That means we'll get underway with Spurs Radio Game Night, our pregame show, 7 o'clock, right here on 1200 WOAI and the Spurs Radio Network. We want to thank the great Bill Schoening, now in his 21st year as the radio voice of the San Antonio Spurs. On-site engineer for Bill is Sam Walters, veteran statistician Walter Stoops. For those gentlemen and the men you just heard, Mr. Michael Bartlett, Chris Duel, once again, the final score tonight from the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the San Antonio Spurs 99-94. Spurs will run it right back on Wednesday night. Hopefully get a win against the Sacramento Kings. You've been listening to Spurs React on Spurs Radio 1200 WOAI. All right, y'all. I will see you tomorrow morning on my show. We'll talk Spurs and a lot of NFL. It's a lost weekend for Longhorns, Spurs, and Cowboys. UTSA is still undefeated, baby. We'll talk about that. Coach Jeff Traylor of UTSA. You can join us at 8:35 tomorrow on my show over on Ticket 760, along with Shannon Salty Sweeney. So join us there. We do a live video feed like this on Ticket 760 and AM 1300 The Zone's Facebook pages, on Twitter. There's a Ticket 760 YouTube page where we put this out as well. All right, y'all. Go Spurs, go. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. on Ticket 760 and AM 1300 The Zone with Shannon Salty Sweeney, and 8:35 with UTSA head football coach Jeff Traylor. Go Spurs, go. In Pop we trust, and we will see you mañana. Adios.